Really, today we have so few Kabbalists that when we go, all the basic Sephardi davening, even the Hasidic davening, is based on Kabbalah. But to find people that actually know some Kabbalah, actually could learn it in some kind of depth, especially outside of Eretz Yisrael, is rare. Now, it could be because, in fact, that it's not meant for everybody. And it's also kind of like the secret things. But the history of Sephardic Jews, particularly, is always underwritten by the concept of Kabbalah. Just the same way that Ashkenazi Jews is that their history is underwritten by the Talmud Bavli, the Babylonian Talmud. So, unfortunately, the situation, it looks to me, I'm in Ashkenaz, right? But I daven in Sephardi shul, and I learned I am a student of the Ari. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. But you see that when I see in the synagogues, that the rabbis who are running the synagogues, by and large, the Sephardi synagogues, don't know any Kabbalah. They just don't know it. There's no place to get it. So the question is we need a breakthrough somehow to get through it. So here, in the basic learning that we do, the fundamental learning that I'm doing in many places, is based on, of course, on the Ari, but the real translator of the Eitz Chaim is the Beit Lechem Yehuda Fataya. He was a rabbi in Bavel, and he was a disciple of the Ben Ish Chai. The Ben Ish Chai was a tremendous Eloi, and he did two things for us. One, he taught us halacha. He teaches us halacha. It's still here. As we have it in front of us, is what we're going to see. So to see that he teaches us halacha. But at the same time, he clothes the halacha, which is very important, in the mystery and the beauty of Kabbalah. Let's take a look and see what we have. We'll see. I'm going to do Parshas Matos today in the first section of the Ben Ish Chai, and we're gonna go through this a little bit. And anyone listening who has a Ben Ish Chai, it's on page Reish Yud Ches. And in Parshas Matos, it says like the V'nakriv as Karban Hashem, Ish Asher Matzah Kli Zohav Et Sa'ada V'Tzamid. Okay, so going back, I'm sorry. Et Sa'ada V'Tzamid. Let's see. He says that is to say that with bracelets and anklets and different kinds of jewels. Nearly, so he said like this, and this is where the Kabbalah starts. With the help of heaven, why do they bring an offering? Truma is like bringing something up to Hashem from different types of 50 different types of ornaments or jewels, or what do we call bracelets, jewelry of the gold. Because what's 5? What's 50? 50 goes with 5 times 10. So we have 5 gevuros, and the idea is to sweeten the gevuros. Gevuros means dinim, punishments. Different kinds of voices in our ears telling us how bad we are, different automobile accidents, all different kinds of things. The Malchus, which is that the binyan, the Malchus, building of Malchus, is built out of gevuros. Shehi sod K, that is Hey Aleph, Achrona. Now, that is, he means to say the secret of Malchus is based on the last letter of the name Yud K Vav K. And the last K, now notice how he spells it. He spells it Hey with a tseri underneath it and an Aleph. That's kind of a little bit unusual how he wrote that, because the normal name for Malchus, which is Ben, Yud Vav Daled K K, Vav Vav K K, ends in a K, in K K instead of K Aleph. That's the way he did it. Now, he either did it because that's the way it sounds, in other words, it sounds like the letter K, or he did it because the tseri underneath the Hey refers to Bina. So there's a pipeline on the left side of the universe called between Bina and Malchus. Perhaps that's it. So he says, okay, Achron, Shemispara Chamisha, which the number of K, of the letter Hey, is 5. Who Agidech Chamisha Gevuros, so it comes to, how do we get that? We get from Chamisha Gevuros. Now each Gevura is a Yud Ke Vav Ke. V'Yedua, Yehazav Romez, the Gevura that gold is a reference to Gevura. What's Gevura? Gevura is restriction. Right now, in the time of the 3 weeks, it's a time of dinim. It's a time of Gevuros. It's a time of squeezings, different kinds of problems. So for this reason, I don't understand where we got Kaf He from, but he says this is the reason why the Mekubalim say that Malchus is called by the name Ko, Kaf He, which is number 25. Why? How could that be? So what's the reference? He says because how's it built? It's built out of 5 Gevuros. Now we know the name Yud Ke Vav Ke. As you see it, it's 4 letters, but actually there's a little kutz at the top of the Yud that makes it 5 different parts. So he says she's built out of 5 Gevuros. Each Gevuros is a Yud Ke Vav Ke, which is 5. And 5 times 5 is 25, which is the gematria of Ko, Kaf He. Chamish Gevur should call Achaz Kalula Mechamesha, that each one of them has 5 in it. Hare Heim Kaf He, so therefore they come out to be 25. So therefore he concludes with their words, V'kaper al nafshal seichem nifnei Hashem. So to make a kapara for their souls before Hashem. Now the word nefesh usually refers to malchus. The nefesh he miso the malchus kanaida, because we know that the nefesh refers to malchus. So the kaper al nafshal seinu, on our nefeshes, lifnei Hashem. Now what is that? He says, so for this we can understand with God's help. Hatan, the Amar of B'sein Zal, the reason why the rabbi said it brings a Gemara over here in Brachos Yud Beis of an Aleph. Called Bracha she'ein ba Shem u'Malchus, any bracha that doesn't have the name of Hashem Yud Ke Vav Ke, and the word Malchus in some way, Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Melech, in other words Melech, ain't a bracha shleima, it's not a complete bracha. So therefore there was was established and built by the Anshe Knesset Gadola. That's the reason why he said that. And what? So we understand, so there's a couple of different ideas here. We understand that the tikkun for Malchus is through brachos. Ki yudura da brachos heim tikkun Malchus. That's what it says. Shenikras Knesset Yisrael. Malchus is also another name for Malchus, is the assembly of the Jewish people. Now the concept of assembly is that you bring things in, many different types of things in different places. And that's the reason why Malchus is also often analogized to the sea with the word Yam. Even the Yam is a number 50 again. But the Yam is a concept of all the rivers flow into it from all different kinds of places. So he said, and this is the sod of 25, of Kaf He. Like we said before, that we're saying the 5 Gevuros multiplied by 10, they wind up going to Malchus and building Malchus. So therefore we have this phrase, and every bracha we want to say this is the complete bracha. If you count them up, there's 25 letters here. So there you say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, it's 25. You're identifying this, the mystery of it is that you're identifying that the source, the kavanah is that where you want to go with these words is into 25. 25 represents Malchus. Let it flow into there. So I said like this, with God's help, Remez is that there's a reference to this. Masha Amar Kosa, there's a pasuk, Yaducha Hashem kol ma'asecha v'chasidecha v'alchucha. So let's look at this pasuk. It says, Yaducha Hashem, so Hashem knows, you know Hashem, Hashem knows all of your ma'asecha, your deeds, v'chasidecha, and all of your kindnesses, v'yivarchucha, and then he blesses you. So he says like this, let's take this word yivarchucha. Chalek hateva l'shtayim. So we're going to take this word, we're going to divide it into 2. Kro yivarchu ko. And so instead, take the last 2 words and push it to the side, and this becomes a hint to this concept that he wants to teach us. And that is that you should bless ko, Malchus. The bracha shalema hi b'shem u'Malchus, because in the bracha that's complete, you use both the Shem and Malchus. Sheyesh b'zeh 25 Kaf Hey, which is 25 letters. Gam tignu Kaf Hey osius benusach habracha b'shem b'malchus kaminyan chiba. So that also comes to the minyan of chiba. So chiba is 8 and 10 is 18 plus 2 is 20 plus 5. Now what's chiba? Chiba means love, cherishing. So this to tell us that since we have a rule in Kabbalah that if you have two gematrias that are the same, that they equal each other in some way. So what's the tzad hashava between them? What is in fact the truth that lies between these two things? And he says like this: so the 25 also represents love and cherishing. That you have to have love and cherishing when you make a bracha, especially, he's going to say, a bracha that has to do with things that you eat and you enjoy. So that your blessing should make fruit, should in other words be fruitful. In order to cause the mating of the upper or the interior precedence of our reality. Our reality is really part of another reality. It's not just one other reality. It's a part of the reality of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, but it's manifest out like this. So as we say, the Peiros, the Gromach, Yechudim. So how do we understand how the bracha comes to us? By putting opposites together. Those are called Yechudim and Zivugim, which is the same thing as matings, Lamala, up above in the world of Atzilus, all the way up into the world of the Absag Da'ak. So therefore you have to be very careful, very pointed in all the brachas that you make. But and specifically those that go along with your enjoyments. So that when you make the bracha, remember that don't do it quickly. Just don't grab an apple and start eating it. Sit down, think about it. Understand there has to be some cherishment in making this because what you're doing is rebuilding the world. So you have to do it with the intention to rebuild the world, and the fact that you're able to do this should have a tremendous joy for us and a tremendous pleasure for us. Well, the simcha b'chiba is joy and love. Because in this way you'll be able to make a refinement out and take out the kedusha that's inside of the fruit that you're eating, let's say the food that you're eating, and for the bracha that you're doing. And as you're doing it, because we are the representatives of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu in this world. So that as we do this, we're rebuilding the inside, because that's where the break is. The break is interior to us, and we're rebuilding it. And so what we're doing is adding strength and illumination, which means actually protection also, but in the midah which is called malchus. So tenu oz l'Elohim, it says it gives strength to Elohim. So since we're saying that the brachos that you make on foods and different things that you enjoy, they have to be done with love and cherishment. So therefore, it's important to make the bracha on what's the most important part of the fruit of whatever you're eating, and put it first, al shar peros. So that therefore, let's say you have a bowl of, imagine you're sitting in Baghdad, and they bring out to you a bowl full of fruits of different types, and dates and pomegranates and so on and so forth. So which one would you eat first? Which one would be the most important? And he wants to say that the greatest love, the greater love that you have for whatever it is that's in that bowl, that's the one to take. So he says, so because when you make that bracha, and this is a concept that goes along with another concept which is called Yom Shekula Chesed. So this concept is all about like this: is that Chesed is the first sphera, is the name of the first sphera of the body. It's also the name of the first Chesed. It's also the name of the first Gevura. There are 5 Chesadim and 5 Gevuros. How that works, another class, another time. But there are 5 of each. And the first one, which is always chesed. Chesed is the first gevura, it's the first chesed. So therefore, inside of it comes the shefa, comes into that first, and it has the shefa for all of the rest inside of it. And that's what he says. So therefore, you choose the fruit which is the most chashuv to you. He's going to go, and we're going to say a little halacha here. And that one, therefore, has inside of it the ability to be able to carry the bracha to all the rest of the fruit. Shar perish of the chala bracha shall zeh al kulam, that this bracha therefore will fall on all the rest of them. V'osa al yedei came berim mekulam ba'achlo osam. So therefore, you're going to have a refinement process that's going to come out, because what he's trying to say is that when we eat, if we have a brain, which we have to put our minds to it, this is that what we're doing is refining out, we're taking out the kedusha that's in the food, and we're putting it into us, and it's making us kadosh as well. But also it's pulling this is a problem in the world, the way the world is that things which are apostle and things which are kadosh are mixed up in the same place. So by eating, we refined it out. Just that same refining goes with kedusha and tuma. Let's go to the first bracha, the first halacha. He says, Im choyu lefanev mini peiros. So you had in front of you a whole bunch of different kinds of fruits. V'yesh bechem peros meshuv saminim. So there of them are peros, are fruits of the 7 different species shnishtabcha bechem Eretz Yisrael, in which for which Eretz Yisrael is praised. Yesh din kedima leperos shnishtabcha bechem Eretz Yisrael. So the basic rule is that the first one that you want to make is one of the 7 species that comes from Eretz Yisrael, al shar peros ha'elan, from any other fruits like pears or apples, other things that come from trees, cherries. Below, not only that, but also the fruits. Amongst those fruits, those 7. So first you put the 7 in front of everything. Then amongst the 7, let's see, also the fruits that Eretz Yisrael is praised for, Atman, Yesh Kedim Zel Zeh, but some of them are more important than others. And how do we know this? We know because of the order in which they're stated in the pasuk. And the pasuk reads like this: Eretz Chita, which is wheat, Seora, which is barley, the Geffen, and Geffen is of course grapes, Useina, which is figs, Verimon, and pomegranates, Eretz Zayit, here he writes it Zayit, so he's also the land of olives, Shemen Udavash, and also oil. That's Zayit Shemen. I guess I said it wrong. It's Zayit Shemen. It means the oil of olives, and Davash, and honey. And he's going to explain. Hare Zachar Kan Chamisha Mini Peiros. So we've mentioned here 5 different types of fruit. Ki Davash HaKosav Kan Hu Tamarim, because when he writes Davash, he means the Davash that seeps out of dates. So this is the way that you organize this. Hanavim, the grapes, bein lachim, bein yeveshim, whether you're talking about fresh grapes or you're talking about raisins, kodman the te'enim, they come before figs. V'kol shchein the rimonium, and certainly before pomegranates. V'chein te'enim kodman the rimonium, and also you see the te'enim, the figs, come before pomegranates. Tamarim, but when you come to dates, kodmin la'anavim, they come before grapes. That is, dates become before grapes. Bifnei shatamarim niskru shnayim la'eretz shniyim la'eretz basra. So because they're the last time they say the word eretz, it comes first. V'anavim shlishim, they're third in that line. La'eretz kama for the. Of Chazayas Kodim the Tamarim, and then also you see that the olives are coming before the dates. V'gam Kodim LaNovim, and also they come before the grapes. Bifnei Shahazayat Rishon LaEretz Basra, so that because the Zayat is the first of the Eretz, the last time he mentions the word Eretz. But it doesn't come before wine. Afal gav shuhu rishon le'eretz basra. So this is the first thing that's mentioned. The second time we have the word eretz. Mifnei ki chashivas hayayin gedola ma'od, because the importance of wine is tremendously important. That when we entertain, that Hashem wants us to entertain and to enjoy, and to mix some of the wine, some wine, kosher wine. V'gam birchasim uvereres yosis. So also the bracha that you make it is more refined. It makes more refining than anything else. They mivarchim bori pri hagefen elayayin, because that bracha only comes on wine. It's miyuchad and specialized for wine. So therefore that means it's more refined. V'kol bracha hagavua al min prati yesh bo shevach l'kodesh baruch hu yoser. So any bracha, every part of any praise that you could give to a Kodesh Baruch Hu, that's going to be the highest level. Shenir b'zeh hashkachasa yizborach b'pratos, because then we could see the tremendous supervision and his the insertion of Hashem in our lives. Number base, yesh omrim she'im yesh pri she'enim b'min sheva chavi v'lav yosef. So let's all say that you like plums. You like plums much more than anything else. And that's more important than any other sheva, the other seven. Makdim b'chafila the min sheva. So he says you should put that first, make your bracha and eat of that before you ate any of the other ones. Michu stam ranza, but basically the rabbis hold shekibal the horos of enukain, that the way that we understand the way they're teaching us is not like that. But minhag pasha that's lain also, but with our custom and it's spread throughout us. The hakdi min sheva ala kol, to bring one of the seven species before everything else. Because stam maranza, like the rabbis say, mikol makom ein min sheva kodem dushar peros ki im acha shedigma pirya. But of course, this has to do only when the seven species, one of the seven species, is ripe. Al kain zeisim kavushim. So therefore, what they call crushed dates, or maybe it means, I guess is what it means, zeisim kavushim, shehem ketanim beyoser, which are really small ones. V'nira la'ayin shelo nigbar b'pir yodayim, and you could look at them and you could see that they're not ripe. Ain't kodmen, they don't come first. Even though that you have that versus a plum, it wouldn't come first. So he said, number 3, so if you have a choice between the fruits, take the one which is the the cleanest and the most pretty. Mishum zeh keli van behu, because of the phrase, this is my God, and I will glorify him. V'yakti bori pri, in other words, he's beautiful. V'yaktim bori pri ha'etz, and bori pri eitz will come first. The bori pri adama before bori pri adama. V'chein bori pri adama yaktim the birchas ha'shakol, and also bori pri adama should come before the bracha of shakol. Rakim yesh lefanav mini metika, and even though the person has a lot of different kinds of sweet things, shal sukar, which are covered in sugar or are cooked in sugar, yotzach b'nekanim, that he means the sukkar. He says the sugar that comes from sugar cane, shehem eitz, which is really a tree. The bevarach aleichem shahakol misafeg, the plugta bebrachos. So you say shahakol because we're in doubt that if you say you're eating something, say you're eating a sweetened grape, and it has two different things. It has sugar cane on it, and it has also a grape. So therefore, he says that if it's like that, and you can see the sugar, so on and so forth, it sounds like you can see it. You would make the bracha shakol. V'yesh l'pana pri eitz vadai, that he would. So that's where you're not sure whether it's the sugar that you're making the bracha on, or you're making the bracha on the fruit. V'yesh l'pana pri eitz vadai. So if a person has a fruit and he knows what it is, the bezeh yaktin the varach al matikas the sukkar kodem pri ha'etz. So he says that you should, in this case, you take the sweetness that's coming from the sugar that's been added to it, and you make a bracha first. Yaktim the varach as matikas sukkar kodem pri ha'etz. Like it's written in the previous Shabbos, Mishem Harav Eli Rabba. So he says, "Well, sukkar hanaasim in priyadoma," but that's one kind of sugar. There's a sugar apparently comes from some kind of I guess he means sugar cane, and it's considered to be like a tree, each one of them like an individual tree. So therefore, it's like a priya eitz by itself. I don't know that. So, but at the same time, but sukkar hanakam in priya adama, but like say you take it out of sugar beets, shukordin shvander. I don't know what shvager means. Is selek, which is beets. Lo yakad manara priya eitz. There, you wouldn't say that before the priya eitz. Although Yekadmino al Priya Adama, but you would say it before you say the Priya Adama. Mishum Sfeik Brachos and Nizkar, because of the Safek of Brachos, as we mentioned. V'yesh the fun of a min metikas. This is a person that has some kind of a sweetening, something sweet. Shakorim min sama, which is called a min sama, and he says that should be min shemayim. Matek asui metal sha'al yedei eitzim. So this is something sweet that comes from dew that's on some kind of trees or some type of wood. I don't know. Shehu metal shemayim, which really comes from dew. Hine zechaber kazer shachakol, that sweetness would be shachakol minadin. V'chuvelav mishum safek, and it's not because of a doubt. V'kein kamehim giyotzav. Other things should be kasim shachakol minadin that are always shachakol. Divarech aleichem acher eitz adama, that you make a bracha if they're individual after you would make an eitz or adama. And I think it's enough.